are going to be live, as you know, on YouTube. So you can post your questions on there. You can go over to Domino Radio uh, on YouTube as well, or you can stay here and listen to us. But if you have questions, just are going to be live, post it on the chat on there, and we were able to listen in or even ask the questions on air as well. But in the meantime, yes, let's get back to what the amazing Oyindamola said. She says to us, "Does love equal money?" And she asked me the question. I I
Yes, stop.
I think not. I think love does not equal money. But who am I to say? I think love is a standalone feeling, and money's that. But people say to me, love, money makes love sweeter. Does it though? I don't know. What does love?
Hmm.
What does love equal money to me? I would say no, because I think they can exist, in isolation. I think because real love, stays with you. Real love brings wonderful things.
Hmm.
Does as well. I mean, people argue, where you have money, blah blah blah. But I don't know. Does money cloud the judgment? Does money cloud, uh, you know, people's judgment and say, oh, is this real or not? I know we're about to find out today. I mean, oh, what does love? Oh, sorry, what does does love equal money to you? What does that mean to you as well?
Hmm. I mean, this is a very tricky subject. I think the way it was phrased, it was intentionally phrased that way to cause a bit of commotion or cause a bit of confusion. So does love equal money? I think love equals whatever it means to you. And I think we're in a situation or in dispensation where you can't really define what someone else thinks love is.
Mm.
It's very, very easy for me to say, of course, love doesn't equal money. But actually, love is a lot of things. If I go to the holy books, it says love is kind, love is patient, does it say love is money? I
No, it
don't
doesn't.
know. Well. I mean, who is to say love is not money? Who is to say that love does not equal money? I mean, I'm going to play devil's advocate here, and I'm not going to give you like a straight answer and say it does not equal money. But I think we can explore the topic a little bit, more and just to look at why someone would think love is equal to money. Yeah.
Okay, so I think we haven't got that clarity from you. So from your perspective, because you try to evade the question. I think Lady Michelle told you double nine always comes and try to get to the bottom of it. But
Okay.
well, from your perspective, I know
Okay.
for various
Uh,
people, it always is
yeah.
different. It's always a different outlook for various individuals. But for you, Onyedamola, the amazing,
Yes.
wonderful host on today's 35 and social show, or
Hmm.
single show. What is
Right.
what is it for you? Does love equal money for you? Does it? Would you? Okay, let's put it into context. I like to do this as well. So a guy, he's a millionaire. Oh my god, and
Mhm.
this guy, you know, regular job, and both of them say, "I love you." Who are you going?
Yeah. That's a good one. So I'm going to go with the one that's, I mean, love, for me personally, love does not equal money.
Okay,
Love for me equals your time. Because the guy with the millionaire, the guy that is very rich might not have time, might not be able to spend time with me. So he might send me money and I can go and buy myself Hermes bags and buy myself whatever, but he's not there with his time.
mm,
So love for me doesn't necessarily equal money. And then the guy that doesn't, is not the millionaire, but he has that time to invest in me. So that's more valuable for someone like myself who is not in need of his money. Does that make
okay,
sense?
okay,
But
okay,
then if I'm at a point in my life where I am in need of money, then I think, yeah, my judgment might be clouded and I might think, oh yeah, this guy's doing everything because money and love and sacrifice all go hand in hand. And I
yeah,
feel like if someone sacrifices their money and says, okay, you take this, and let me help you do this, let me help you do that, then it might be a way of displaying their love and affection for me. So that's why I'm saying it's a tricky one. You can't
mm,
just easily say love is not money because it depends on where you're at
right,
in your life, either from the man's perspective or from the
yeah,
woman's perspective. So with
okay,
me now, your money probably would not sway me into thinking you love me, but
okay.
maybe for the next girl, that might be all she needs.
Okay, okay. So we've been, able to give our own perspective on that, on the question whether love equals money, what it means to us, which is
Yeah.
wonderfully clear. But I want to bring it out into the real world, into the social media world, into the society. And from what we see, from conversations we have, from what we see on social media being posted on there, do you think there's a reality that love can still exist without that financial security? Do you think that real love still exists somewhere?
Hmm.
I mean, because if we look at all this, social, Gen Z movement
Hmm.
out there at the moment, you know, the music, the movie,
Hmm.
the social media thing. I mean, social media is such a facade. I always tell people never believe everything you see on social media, but it's
Hmm.
almost inevitable for people to be swayed in such a way. Equating love is like,
Hmm.
if you can't afford it, don't talk to it. I'm like, what do you mean by that? Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm still, it baffles me when I see a lot of comments online. A lot of, I mean, I saw a video the other day where, this young lady, possibly in a, early mid 30s, talking about, I need someone who can spoil me. I need someone who can do this for me and do all of that. But I'm thinking to myself, where is what you can do for yourself? I mean,
Hmm.
where is that? Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, that begs the question: do you think true love can still exist without financial security?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you said financial security. I
Okay,
think
but
that's
that's
different.
still,
That's different from
perspective. It's still
that's
perspective, isn't
different.
it?
That's different from money because
Okay,
when you're talking about security now,
okay, that's
I
emphasis,
think
isn't it? They're going to be like, it's like I'm on their side now when I say security. Okay, let's remove the word security in there, right? Because when I say
right.
security now, people are going to be, yeah, 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 yeah. No, let's remove security. So
No,
let's
because we can discuss the security aspect of it. I think the financial security now, when you're looking at that, then you're talking about two people in a committed relationship that have, how can I put it? Maybe they're living together, maybe they have kids together, maybe they have bills together, and that's where the security bit comes in,
of
like
course,
the
yeah.
safety. So it's called, we can replace security with safety, financial safety.
Okay,
So can we exist in this love and have the money to afford ourselves a comfort that allows us to have a safe life together?
mm,
If you look at it that way, then you would see that actually the financial aspect is quite important,
it
right?
is, it is.
So whether that bit comes from the man or the woman, that's a different discussion. I don't think money or whoever has the most money has to be technically the man. I
A hundred
think it
percent.
could
I
be
love that.
can
Yeah.
be it can be either gender. However, I think it just
He's always falling on the
I,
man, isn't he? He's always on the,
it falls on the man, and I think sometimes men have this natural ego, or maybe the way they've been created, that they should be the provider. And
mm,
so, if a guy is able to swap the gender roles a little bit and not be so,
masculine.
uptight about masculine about, okay, this is what I'm meant to do, but and replaces, okay, you know what, my wife actually, or my partner earns a little bit more. I think maybe I'll work. I'll do part time. I'll do the school runs, because he can bring more money into the family. If it's
Mm.
a partnership like that, then I see absolutely no problem with it, because
Okay.
then the two of you are one. But I think society wise, culturally wise, religious wise, a lot of men will feel uncomfortable to wear that those shoes, right? In the
Okay.
Western world, maybe they do, but I think
Okay.
culturally, our background wise, it's a
I
bit
hear you,
tricky.
but I think that's where the love comes in as well, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? If we're looking from
Mm.
the men's side, are you willing
Yeah.
to demasculinize yourself if that would exist?
So
You know,
why do you have to put it that way? Why
you-
do you have to say he's
oh my God.
demasculining himself?
I mean, you
Because
you
that's
said it. You said it. Like, I said the word masculine and you agreed. Like, is it
I
because
was listening to you.
you're listening? Okay. 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 We will use demasculinizing yourself. Okay.
Because we want to encourage men to be comfortable. If we say, oh, you're being less of a man, saying demasculinize whatever yourself is
Okay.
like
Don't,
saying
don't,
you're
don't.
less of a man, you
Okay,
know.
okay. Thank you for
Mm,
correction. Don't demasculinize yourself.
yes,
Just be you, but still
yes.
portray that support and caring within the
Hmm.
within the relationship. You know what I mean? So yeah, yeah, you're right. So I think that's the side where the love should come in about whatever
Hmm.
society is saying, whatever the social media is saying that whatever is been described as what men should be, should not
Mm-hmm.
be, something a man that truly
Mm-hmm.
loves a woman,
Yeah.
be doing. I'm not saying taking a piss or the woman taking a piss, but I'm just saying
Mm,
like that's where the man's one come in. But we don't,
absolutely.
yeah, but we don't see, we don't hear too much about it. It does exist, but what's very common is the, should I say, demands, ladies now, especially say single ladies,
Mm-hmm.
gonna the single show, 35 and social, single
Mm-hmm.
ladies put on, you know, single men or trying to go into a date or trying to go into a relationship or start a relationship with someone. There's this
Mm-hmm.
always be prescribed, prescribed way of
Mm-hmm.
thinking and saying, if this man is not at, or this at this financial level, looking at
Mm-hmm.
financial compatibility and
Mm-hmm.
saying, I'm going to sacrifice that over my emotional compatibility. I think that's wrong, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I think
Because yeah, go on.
for women to come to that conclusion, they must have some experience. For them to come to the conclusion
Oh,
that the financial aspect of where a guy is quite important, is because I mean we women usually or normally we love love, right? And I think
yeah,
men also love love.
yeah.
And where will we naturally fall, I think, easier well, in the past. I don't think we fall that much anymore. And I think
You don't
where
fall
you've
that
been
much
in
anymore.
the
I'm taking a
no,
note. What's
why,
happened? Oh my
we're
God.
not we're
Oh
using
my
our
God.
head now. We're not using our hearts.
Hmm.
The heart is
Let me
not
make
involved in this process. You
let
have
me
to
make
use your head now.
let me
The
make
heart is
more.
foolish. The
Hey,
heart my friend Moji always says the heart is foolish.
oh
So,
wow.
if you're going to assess someone with your heart, then you're going to make very stupid, foolish decisions.
I mean, I
You
think
have
it's on both sides, isn't it? Men do that as well. But anyway, sorry to cut you. Carry on.
Yes, so I think where I mean I'll use myself an example, and I didn't realize this was a fully single show. So, I'm in my early 40s, I've worked hard, all my life. I'm found myself being single. And then you just want to be in a comfortable situation, right? So
Hmm.
if I'm dating someone and let's say, for example, the relationship is long distance, right?
Yeah.
Same country, or it could be different countries. But okay, I'll give you an example. There was someone at the time that I met when I was still engaged in online activities. I don't do online dating anymore, and they were in a different city, and they couldn't afford to, like, because of
Get a
where they
train.
were at. Yeah, yeah, it's like, oh, getting a train from so to so, and then because I don't live in that area, I might have to get a hotel and spend the night there.
Yeah.
The person, that was a burden for them.
Oh my God.
And yeah, and for you and I, that okay, so it's not just to buy a train ticket, maybe £100 or 50 quid,
Yeah.
another
Imagine.
hotel, 200 quid or whatever. But
Yeah.
you're saying you want to invest yourself in a relationship and get to know this person, but you can't afford to. So
Yeah.
that's where financial issues come in. I know a friend of mine that went on a date with a guy years ago, and I think the guy came out with cash, right? So they went on a date. He came out with cash.
Yeah.
The bill went over, I think it went over £60. And I think the guy came out saying, I'm not going to spend more than £60 on this babe.
Huh?
That was well, because why would you come out with cash? Like seriously.
Yeah.
So she had to like chip in and pay the rest of the bill. Now, are we saying that he had a budget and financially at the time he wasn't able to date? So I think money is important,
Yeah.
definitely important, and as Davido said, it makes it sweeter. So if
Mm.
I'm dating someone and we can't even see, we cannot get to do things together, we can't go to the theater because it's money, and you want to be dating from the living room, that's a problem. That's a
Hey,
problem.
hey,
And women are not accepting that. If I want to chill in my living room now, chill with
yeah.
my mates, even my girlfriends, we go out regularly. We go on socials, we have a good time.
Yeah.
So you would expect that with a guy you're dating, you want to match that same energy, or if not better. So it
100%.
does. We're just talking at a dating level now. We're not even
Yeah.
talking like now we're a couple. And then we're not talking about real life issues that, we
Yeah.
have bills to pay, we have commitments, we have things to do with our children, we have a house to purchase, we have investments to go into. So I
Uh-huh.
think, yes, a certain point in time where, as a grown human being, a grown folk, like we're
Yeah,
not young anymore. Yes, money is important. But when
a
you're
hundred
still,
percent,
hmm,
100%. But you know me, I'm gonna come back and say, yes, the financial compatibility is very important.
yeah.
We talk about, we haven't touched on the emotional compatibility yet, but I just want to, you know,
Hmm.
the examples you gave, yes, honestly,
Mhm.
yes, I would agree that, train ticket, even if you don't have it, find a way to get it if you're truly want to be invested in this.
Don't find a way to get it. Then don't find a way to get it just to date that babe.
And
Just go and hustle and come back.
go
Come
and
back
hustle
when
and come back.
come
Okay.
back when you're ready, or date someone at your level. Period. Like
See,
this.
look at that. Look at that. We're gonna come back to that word there. Stay someone at your level. I need to come back to that word. Because
I hate myself for saying that.
I keep
Yeah, I hate
saying,
I hate
I keep
myself for
saying
using
that.
the word level,
Yes.
but that's just the easiest way for me to explain
On
it. I
social
don't
media,
think there's a level as such, but there
yeah,
might be someone within your area. Don't date someone in London, then date within your locality. Date
right.
someone maybe in your work field that understands, like, okay, this is what we take home together, and I wouldn't expect you to, we're going for a drink in the pub, right? We're not going to have dinner or three course meal somewhere, because
Yeah.
that's how, someone that understands. You're talking about emotional compatibility. Yeah, someone that can actually understand you emotionally at that point in time where you're at.
Okay. So I think now I understand the comment you made about women that are not falling anymore. They're now using
Yeah,
their head because
yeah,
possibly in the past, women would
yeah,
say, you know what, it's fine. This guy
mhm,
seems like a very nice guy. It seems like someone
yeah,
serious. It seems like someone I
yeah,
can build something with. Okay,
yeah.
let me support him and
Being nice does not pay your bills.
does not
Sorry,
pay your
being
does pay your
being
bill.
nice does not put food on your table.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
but carry on.
All right. Also, I want to quickly touch on that level part of it before I actually move on to.
Oh, I really hate myself for using the word level,
You've done it
because
now. You've done it now. Let's look at that because I hear a lot of women on social media, on podcasts, all of that, talking about this level thing, and I ask myself the question: do women actually feel that you know most men are not on their level? Because this women,
Mhm.
the women, the aspiration or the men that aspire to date,
Mhm.
I don't think that they're on that level. Because
Right.
you're talking about people possibly earning six-figure sums.
Not
You
necessarily. No, I'm not talking about six figures. No.
okay, okay,
So,
okay.
and I
People,
said,
someone who could just say to you, okay, fly you out to different locations
no, no,
every
no,
month.
no.
This
That's
is
not
this
what
is
I'm saying.
this is the picture
No,
I'm
that's
getting.
No, that's not what I'm saying. About, they say, I'm not going to expect something from someone, something I'm not doing for myself, right?
Right.
And when we're talking about building a life together with someone, it doesn't mean, oh, the person has to fly you out and do all of that stuff. He's not a caretaker. That's not the way I'm
Okay.
looking at it. When we talk about level,
Yeah.
um, level is not just about finances. It's about your mental capability
A
and how
hundred
you
percent.
think and
Yeah.
reason,
Yeah.
right? So how you reason, and sometimes things like where you're at, education,
Uh-huh.
background plays a part in determining if someone is at your level or not.
A
So when
hundred
we talk about level, I am not referring to just the financial side of it. In fact, that's a little bit of it. I think the mental side of it is quite important in terms of their thinking, their reasoning, their empathy skills, their emotional intelligence. Like, is this person reasoning at the same level? Do you expect me to do this? Like, you're saying, okay, I should do this. Would you do that for yourself? That's part of me thinking about level. So when I say someone is not thinking at the same level or at the same level as me, I'm not referring to your bank account or what you have in your bank account. However,
Yeah.
a friend of mine, we always say, like, there is a salary that someone should earn that we know is like should be a comfortable salary in the UK. So, for example, if you're earning as a single person now, not a family, if you're earning probably around, let's call it 40K, 45K, that's
Yeah.
a very comfortable or high salary. If you
As a
look at the
single.
national, yeah, if you look at the national average salary is about 30K, 35. You can't just look at inner London or just the average around the country in Manchester, what they're earning in Birmingham, Scotland, and all around the country, you will see that the average is probably around 35-ish or 40. So if someone is earning 45K, for example, I can't remember what that's after tax. Maybe after tax, you're taking home 2002. Maybe you got a one bed somewhere and you're paying like 1,004. You have money to actually take care of yourself. You could have money to, clothe yourself, house yourself,
Yeah.
feed yourself, and maybe treat yourself. Those are just like basic stuff. But so when I'm saying level and I'm translating this for my other girlfriends as
Okay.
well, and I know how we think. It's
Okay.
just someone that can take care of themselves.
Okay. So,
No woman wants an extra child or an extra liability. And
okay.
so if you're not a liability to someone and you can take care of yourself and I can take care of myself, then yeah, we should be able to combine our resources and then maybe have even a better life.
I mean,
So
use the word
it's
combine. Use the word combine. I haven't heard that in a long time. I don't really hear it on social media. I don't even hear it
right.
from ladies. They never even say combine. I mean, there's this expectation. Let's talk about the traditional gender roles of, the man, the expectations of a man. We actually alluded to it earlier in the show where there's an expectation that, okay, the man is doing this, doing that. Because you talked about, taking the lady out, and the guy said, I mean, that's a bit stingy. I'm not advocating for that. Going
Yeah,
out.
on a first
Oh,
date,
no,
I expect the man to pay on the first date.
um,
First, second, third date, fourth date, fifth date, sixth date. Yeah, I don't expect the man to pay. If he wants to carry on paying, fantastic. If you want to split the bill, or the woman should offer to pay. But when it's your first date with a woman, I think the man should pay. So this incident I'm referring to was a first date.
was a first date. I mean,
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of people still argue there, about first dates. Like, um, should a man be paying or should a bill be split on the first date? I mean, there's a jury out on that. I don't. Maybe
Mm,
that's another topic we have to discuss.
right.
One day, because men will say, what if I'm going on different first dates? Should I not go into debt because I'm?
Don't have expensive first dates. Go and have coffee. Like go for a
Oh my
walk or
god!
just to have
Oh,
have
you're
something.
saying that. You're saying that now. you t- it's
Honestly, on the
expectation.
first day, I'm meeting you for the first time. It doesn't have to be anything grand.
Oh yeah, it's like, have you been on social media? Like, people the expectations. I crazy.
Right.
You know, but it's for especially men. On the first day, what you're taking a woman out for coffee? They want to go to some fancy restaurant. Like, so you're gonna
As a
impress. Yeah, that's there's this expectation.
right.
The expectation of, like, this is a man. The gender is a man. He has to do this. He has to take me to this place. That's the
Well, then
expectation out there.
they're not dating mature minds then. That's what it is. Because on your first date, really, there shouldn't be that much pressure on both people. We don't know each other that well. Yeah, we might fancy someone, we might fancy each other from looks or whatever you said, but I actually don't know you. So,
True.
I think keeping it as simple as possible is probably safer. You haven't invested too much on both end. The man hasn't invested too much. The woman hasn't invested too much. She's not wearing her most expensive wig and going to buy, like, if you say let's just meet for coffee, then it's like, okay, I'm going to wear something quite casual, smart, and yeah, if it works, it works. If we
Uh,
move on to the next date, I think we put too much pressure. And as I
I
said,
mean,
you've mentioned social media a lot. You know, um,
you're a rarity, aren't you? Because I'm hearing this,
yes.
I'm hearing this amazing things from you. It's like, wow, is this real? But again, so if a man there, trying to chat you up now, trying to get your attention and says, all right, let's go for a day the first time, and it says, you know what, let's grab a coffee at McDonald's. What are you saying?
Not McDonald's. I mean, I would say yeah, we can go to Starbucks or Costa, but definitely not
That's
McDonald's.
expensive. That's expensive. That's like
How is that
£6
expensive?
a cup of coffee. We can buy
It's like
McDonald's
four.
for £6.
It's £4. No, no. Okay, that's where the level comes
Oh,
in.
that's where the
I'm
level
not.
comes in now.
Yes, I don't expect you to take me to McDonald's at my
But the guy
43,
is earning
almost 40.
40 grand.
Then
Is
he's a stingy 40. I told you 40 grand is a good salary.
is a good
Then he's
yeah.
really, it's decent. Yeah. So if a 40 grand man is taking you to McDonald's, what's a 25 grand man? Where is he going to take you to? So you see, let me tell you something. Generosity has nothing
Yeah.
to do with what you earn. The
Okay.
guy that is earning 40 grand or earning 100 grand and wants to take you to McDonald's. because it's just a stingy man, period.
Are we
Whether
saying
it's
are we saying money buys love then?
okay, money can buy love, yes.
Wow.
It can buy love. It can buy some people's
Unlocked.
love,
Ladies,
right?
guys, code unlocked, code unlocked. Listen in. Code has been unlocked.
See, money is a tool that makes the world go round, right? And so when I say money can buy love, right, or you can
Yeah.
show your love for someone because you are spending your time and your resources, money is a form of resource, right?
Mm.
So, for example, I'm in a bit of a, maybe I'm in a bit of a mess or something. I'm like, oh, babe, this is happening, blah, blah. Oh, you know what, babe, don't worry, let me help you out. If that person is showing their love by sacrificing their own resources to help me out. And what they're doing is filling up my love bank with all those acts of kindness and acts of service. They're filling up the love bank that I have for them. So technically, again, I'm playing devil's advocate, but technically they're buying my love, maybe not directly, but indirectly. So yes, money can buy love.
Okay, so we've been talking a lot about what the man is doing.
Mm.
We're talking about, the woman receiving it. Lot does love equal money.
Yeah.
We saying that, you know, yeah, again, the gender role, the expectation is that the man tries to chase the woman, tries to, you know, who, or who, or is that what they say? Or try and get attention, uh,
Mm-hmm.
try and get attention. But are we saying that without the man, showing how financially buoyant or what financial, um, level is at, that could affect the kind of love he would encounter?
Mm. Can you like simplify that question again?
So a guy, you said 40K is the level, right?
No,
So
no, I said it's a decent salary. Yeah,
decent salary.
40K. Yeah.
Okay. 40K is a decent salary. So he's met this girl. He doesn't even know how much she's on
Yeah.
at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to get attention. So he's,
Right.
let's go for, okay, he says Starbucks. You had a conversation. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and he agrees to, he'll be like, he'll be blown away just when you say yes to Starbucks. Like, what? Are you real? You know,
Yeah, it's first date, yes.
yeah, I mean, that's unreal. It's like, it doesn't happen. But anyway, you go to Starbucks, you don't know how much he earns.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know how much you earn as well. So
Mm-hmm.
at that point in time, I'm trying to, think about how the conversation would evolve. Because
Mm.
if we're not talking about the love equals money, because that's what social media is telling you, and you're saying to
Right.
me it's good to take out someone on a first date to Starbucks because there you
No,
can't
no,
really,
no, no. I'm
no.
saying you can take me out to the Ritz or Carlton if you want to.
Oh,
I'm just saying
yeah,
people
yeah,
should people should
yeah.
cut their coats according to their size. You talked about people. I don't know how that we came about. I said, I mean, with the Western world, they normally do coffee as first dates. Like when I
Okay,
say Westernized, I'm talking like non-Nigerians or Africans. They normally just go, first day I'm meeting this guy, let's meet at the pub, let's go for a drink. Like it's normally drinks. It's nothing too deep,
okay,
because you might see the person, but I'm not saying you can't go for dinner. You might have bonded with the person on the phone, you might have video calls, you guys might have a deeper connection and you want to have more of a meaningful first date. So I'm not saying that Starbucks is a first date, but there are
okay.
options there. But yeah, I think what you're trying to say is when we meet at Starbucks now, you don't know what I earn, I don't know what you earn, but then love equals money. So how do we then determine if we are compatible? Is that what you're trying to say, money
I mean,
wise?
that could be one. Yes, you could answer
Yeah.
that question, but you brought in Ritz, so I was actually going to go over to the Ritz as well. So
Okay.
you've gone to the Ritz, but this
Uh-huh.
guy's going to use his overdraft to take you out, just to want to
Yeah.
impress you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
But now you're there. Oh my God, he's taking me to the Ritz. I'm in love
Mhm.
with it. You're in love because
Yeah.
he's taking you to the Ritz.
I'm
And
not in love, but
you're no,
I'm I'm impressed.
you're impressed, but your perception has changed. Your perception of
Yeah.
that individual has changed. You put him on the level. Then because you're thinking, oh my God, this guy said taking me to the Ritz. He must
Mhm.
he must be minted.
Yeah.
So
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So are we saying now there's pressure to show
Mm.
love through spending?
Hmm.
Because now,
Again,
because this is, it's there now, because we, with conversation we've had,
yeah.
which is amazing. Um, you said a lot of great things. I mean, you talk about Starbucks. Wow, it's still ringing in my head. You know, but you talked about, women don't fall for no fall anymore. I don't know. I'm still a bit indecisive about that coming. You know,
No, we don't fall. We don't fall anymore.
yeah,
No.
you still do. You still do.
You
But
do? Okay.
another topic for another day. But that we talk about the level. Then now I brought a scenario in. You talk about guys met you, I don't know, maybe online dating. You've been talking, chatting, have a conversation. What do you do? Oh, I do this, I do that. You kind of like gauge is that how much he earns, but now you can't really tell because people are
Mm-hmm.
different. Oh, I'm a contract role, whatever.
Mm.
He's
Mm-hmm.
taking you out to the Ritz now,
Mm.
and your perception is going to change.
100.
Exactly. So now there's pressure to show
Mm.
love through spending. Because if you're not spending, that means you don't love that
Mm.
woman. Is that
I
is that
mean, what you
is that
you
what?
skipped well, you skipped all the steps before you get to love, you know. I'm
Oh,
not expect yeah, you skipped like I mean, what's going on? Like we've just met. You know, you've skipped a lot and we've just jumped at love, and are we replacing love with lust, with like, with what's the other things? What are the other steps before you get to love? But I see what you mean. There's pressure for him to keep up with that level. He started at the rates, and how is he
yeah.
going to maintain it going forward? And with me
You
not
don't
realizing that
you don't
he
know that.
uses exactly. So
Because
it's the price.
he's bought your attention already. Your attention,
Mm,
your attention is
mm.
swayed, and you're telling me you're not falling.
But
You've fallen
this
already.
is where honesty comes in. You see, people think that women want to be deceived. You
Mm.
know, we don't want to be deceived. Just be honest with me.
So what's he
We've
gonna
gone on
say now?
that.
Oh, sorry,
Okay, so
I can't really afford this Ritz. I only came here to
yeah,
impress
yeah.
you.
You know what, Oyindamola, I really like you. I really wanted to show you a great time. I spoke to someone and said, oh yeah, take her to the Ritz. I couldn't afford it, but I made a sacrifice. If you
Hey,
tell the lady that,
that's why I said
trust me.
you're
The,
very rare. They don't make you anymore.
no, 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 come on. If a girl did that to you, wouldn't you be impressed and say, wow, this person
Eh?
has taken this time out and borrowed some money just to take me out, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you be happy with that? Wouldn't that even impress you more about the heart of that person?
That
But
sorry,
no,
sorry to
usually that,
take me out.
you
Okay.
know what? You sound like you need someone to take
Double
you
night,
out.
double nice hair. Double nice hair.
Sorry, double nine. My bad. My bad.
No,
I'm really, really sorry.
no, it's
Double
fine.
nine. Do
It's
you
fine.
need someone to take you out?
No, no, no. It's just what is happening on social media at the moment. And as I said,
Mm.
I is a very rare species, of what's happening out there, because the pressure is real. The pressure is real on the man in there, on the men out there.
I don't
Where
see this. I don't see this men with this pressure. I think men are. They a lot of them are become lazy in terms of dating and cutting a woman anyway. So I don't know
because
this pressure that you keep going on. I can't see
yeah,
it.
because women have made it easy. They've made it easy because now the finances is equating care, is equating love. Women, I don't think women want to be caught anymore. There's no courting happening. All they want is, what can you buy me? What can you offer me?
No, but that's a very shallow. I mean, I don't know any woman in my circle who would replace money for genuine love and affection. But then we're not going to ignore that we need to be financially secure and stable. You're not going to ignore that because money is a tool that lets the world go round, right?
Yeah.
But I would not, it's like selling my soul. I'm not going to sell my soul because you're a millionaire or billionaire. You asked the question at the beginning, if there are two guys, one guy that is a millionaire and one guy that just earns like a regular salary, which one would I go for? I'll go for the one that gives me his heart and gives me his time.
Mm,
But that's what I want. I don't need. Obviously I could do with more money. Everybody can do with more money, but
yeah.
that's not the need of my life at this point. So I think those ladies that equate love to money, that is the need in their life at the time.
Okay.
So if the need in your life is money, then fine. The need in your life is, time, quality time, going for, whatever.
Okay.
Then that's what I'm going to translate as love. But if my need is money and you give me the money, that guy loves me so much. That would be my conclusion.
Okay. Fantastic.
So,
So, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're probably buzzing to want to, be, included in this conversation. I did say I do apologize. Our phone lines a bit had a bit of technical issue. But if you want to send us a comment or question, just go over to our Double Down Radio channel on YouTube. It's live on there. Use the chat function, and we can, answer your questions live here on the show. So we do have a question. It's I think it's a YouTube name. It's called Lani, and the question is, where's the line between love and transaction? And I think that's a fantastic question because you got that question right. Yeah. Oyindamola, sorry.
mhm.
Yeah.
Where's the line between love and transaction?
Yes.
Yeah, it
Because,
should not be in the same sentence.
okay.
I mean, you're talking about social media now,
Yeah.
but in a real sense, when you talk about love and transaction, it should not even be like in the same sentence.
I'm sure quite a number of females will probably, disagree with you
Yeah.
because,
Mm,
and I would disagree with you, because it's a reality of what's happening. Because now
mm,
the mindset is, you're with a guy, you guys are dating each other. Mindset is,
mm.
oh, my man is taking care of me. Like, what does that mean? My man is taking care of my bills. He's paying my bills. My man, he has his life to build as well. The
I
relationship,
mean,
as you mentioned earlier, is about combining resources. That's why I said you're like a rare species. Combining the resources and trying to build a future. If that's the person you want to build a future with. But the thing is now you're talking to a lady. First, like, you've gone out first time on a date, having a conversation. Next thing, possibly, third date, fourth date down the line. Yeah, yeah, babe, I need to do this. I need to do my hair. I need to, yeah, I've got this bill. Can you help me out? Like, is that what a relationship is about today? Like nowadays?
well, that's where the transaction comes in. And as I said, I cannot relate because I'm not at that point in my life. So I
Right.
cannot, but then I can't judge a woman that feels that transaction, those efforts that those guys make is a way of buying their love. As I said, love is tied to the need. What I define as love, someone else might think, are you joking? What's my business with if a guy comes to go for a walk? Is that what I'm going to eat? So
Mm,
everyone's, and you can't, it's objective. There is no one, you can't box love or what it feels or what it means to the next man or to the next woman. But in terms of the whole transaction, my baby's doing this, my baby's doing that, again, some men want to play that role. Some men are happy to play that role. They just want their babe to look good. Some guys just want, babe, I don't want you to lift a finger. I want you to just look good. I want you to be comfortable.
of
You
course.
take care of the kids, you take care of this. If that's the role the guy wants to play. And there's some guys, they find themselves in a situation that they did that in courtship, the woman now has an expectation. So they're now married. It might even be that the lady is now earning even more, but they are struggling. And that's the bit I question where you watch your man struggle because you expect him to pay all the
Mm,
bills. And,
mm,
and a lot of relationships are like that, where the ladies have this mindset, well, is his job. My own, I'll just provide the food and is his job, he'll do this. And then mortgage rate has gone up. It's gone from 2% to 4%. Now he's gone from paying a mortgage of maybe 1,500 to £2,000 a month, and you're watching your man suffer. That's the bit that I don't understand. And that's a bit where you think, is this now really transactional, even when you're in marriage? Like
mm.
you still feel that this gender roles still need to uphold itself. And a lot of people have that mindset. I mean, I'm not there to judge them. You probably can determine what my view is, but
Yeah.
there are people in those relationships that believe that, well, this is his job and this is how he's going to show that he loves me and loves his family. And that's
Amazing.
through the transactions.
Amazing. Amazing. I love the analogy there. That's really good. But do we bring it back to the upbringing or the culture? of certain individuals that shape the views on how
Hmm.
they see love, or how they connect love and money. Because you're quite right.
Absolutely.
Because you're quite right. Because we look at relationships, dating relationships, or just normal boyfriend girlfriend, marriages, engaged, whatever. And there's this, you know, the traditional gender role that's always adopted as a mindset, especially from the female side. Yes, we have it from the male side as well, because the male side would say, you're meant to be making my food, cleaning after me, all of that. So we're not looking away from that. But,
Mm.
what we're talking about more on the financial side of things, where a,
Yeah.
a, a woman has this expectation, regardless of how, hard it is for this man,
Hmm.
and you know
Hmm.
that you can support him, but you think, no, it's a man, he's going to do that, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. You're just making it harder for him. But
Hmm.
so you do agree that sometimes, or most times, it can be connected to the upbringing, or culture of that, or
Hmm.
certain individuals that shapes the views on love and money.
100%. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Your
So,
background, your culture, your parents, where you grew up from, what you're exposed to, your circle, your friends, all that could influence how you think love is meant to be showed in a relationship. Yeah.
mm, and that,
But
and that,
yeah.
sorry, Karen.
No, I mean, if we go back to the 80s or the 70s, where the gender roles were a bit more defined, where women were still at home and the man went out,
Mm,
and the girl child or the boy child is just used to daddy's out, comes back home, daddy comes home and gives me stuff. Mindset is daddy takes care of the house, daddy goes out, he doesn't need to spend time with me, he doesn't need to, take me to go and do my hair. What daddy does is just provides money. If that's how she's grown up, and then that's what she might be expecting in a partner. So a woman like that might not even care about what do you call it, personal time with a man. She might
mm,
not care about him, them just chilling or watching a movie together. She might even call him a lazy man for sitting in the house because she's like, your mates are outside. Well, I never saw my dad, growing up. Daddy was always out and blah blah blah. So again, your background, how you grew up, your exposure, or your group of friends, all those can influence, all those things or factors can actually influence how you perceive what love should be or what love looks like, which is why I tend to take a very objective view and not judge anyone because we're all
of course.
coming from we're coming from different backgrounds. And it doesn't
Yes.
mean that my background. I came from a background where I saw. I was brought up by my nan, and she was a business mogul, very hardworking woman, took care of her family. And I
Mm,
think as positive as that was for me as a woman having those same ethics, I feel like where I should have maybe been more feminine, I didn't know how to be,
wow.
right?
So there's a
So
it was a bit of positive, negative, around that.
exactly, exactly. So yeah, we are some and ifs of our backgrounds and our thinking, but that's the beauty about this same social media that you've been banging on, because you can learn and unlearn. There's so much information out there, and if
Oh,
you feel like something is, these conversations are important to have because somebody might be listening to us with that other orientation and not even understanding. Oh, my partner is struggling
mm,
and they just have like a wake up call. Hold on a minute, I can actually help. But because I grew up thinking this is how it should be, they didn't have the insight or the foresight as to, oh, actually, I can change the way I think. Like change is your only
amazing.
constant.
100%.
So yeah, so
I'm
that I mean
learning.
that's why we're having these conversations. It's important to keep talking and having these challenges out there. I don't want to judge anyone because again, as I said, does love equal money? Well, it depends on where you're at in your life. It depends on your
Amazing.
thinking. It
It
depends on
does.
your background, like you've just said now.
It
Yeah.
does. It does. I mean, I can agree with you more, because you're totally right. The way you grow up, what you see, the kind
Yeah.
of friends you keep around you,
Yeah.
the kind of exposure you allow
Yeah.
yourself to absorb, can all definitely shape your views. But you can unlearn certain things and learn new things
Well,
and
yes.
understand more that love doesn't always equal money. But on the
Yes.
other hand, if we bring it back again, because you mentioned something, you said
Well,
some guys like to have the woman not lift a finger. Again, it could be
Mm.
part of the upbringing as well. They
Yeah.
want the spouse to be so financially, dependent
Dependent on them.
on them.
Mm.
Is that a
Mm.
form of emotional control? Or is it because I love you? Or is it because my love or me showing you love is equals money? Or is it a financial way or emotional way to control you? Because now if you're financially dependent on me and you want to buy something, you want to buy hair. Babe, I want to buy hair. But
Yeah.
if you make me upset, I'm not going to give you no money for hair because you're financially dependent on me. Is that
Mm.
control? Is that something people should aspire to be? Because it's portrayed as a lovely thing. Oh my God, my man does everything for me. My man is this. My man is that. Oh my God, I go to
Mm.
him again. I know I keep banging about social media, and
Mm.
I don't like the word social media. I call it SC. Should I call it SC? I just call it social media.
No,
Yeah,
no, I love social media, but yeah.
okay.
Alright.
Yeah, but because the social media you go onto, I mean, I don't mention anyone's name, you know, the very very popular, the person used to be an actress, one of them, that I'm referring to, would go on social media and post all this, new cars, holiday trips, bags, and all of that stuff. But the
Right.
person doesn't even act anymore, doesn't have any source of income that we can see. Only the dependency is on the spouse.
Right.
But what happens behind the scenes? Is that a
Mm.
form of emotional control? Because certain things you want to say and speak about or
Mm.
how your concerns are is like, oh my God, if I say that, would this luxury lifestyle, disappear?
Mm.
So
Wow.
I know
That question is a whole topic itself in
it
terms
is.
of
I think we've said two topics. I can see the upbringing and culture as a topic on its own. I can see the financial
Mhm.
dependency as a topic on its own as well.
Mm. Wow. So in terms of control in a relationship, I mean, the long and short of the answer is don't try and control anything. It's not going to end well when you try and control anything.
Mm.
But do we use control, um, or do we use the financial, well, dependency? Is there a form of control? 100% how could I put it? But I think it's a confidence thing as well, either from a
Mm.
man's perspective. So you back this girl, you take care of her all the time and buy her this and buy her that. And you feel like, okay, the only way I can, number one, there are different angles to this. The only way I can earn her love is to keep doing this thing. So you keep doing them. That's number one. Number two is, okay, I've got her now. And a lot of women find themselves in this. The man has brought you to a standard that you cannot even stand on your own 2 feet, right? So if he leaves you or if he dumps you, like you said, the lifestyle is not going to add up. So
Mm.
they then are trapped in these relationships of where the control comes in, abuse comes in,
Yes.
right? Because with control comes abuse,
Up
whether
100%.
you're physically abusing them, emotionally abusing them, or restricting their movements. What
Mm.
that's where so the word that's why I said anything control is not going to end well.
Yes.
Whether you're controlling them with money, controlling their time, it's not going to end well. But does the financial dependency lead to emotional control? In some relationships, in many relationships, yes. I don't know what the percentage is, but absolutely it does, and it's not healthy. It's not healthy at all.
It is not.
But
It's
yeah,
not. I
yeah,
couldn't
yeah,
agree with you more
yeah.
there. It's been a wonderful conversation. I think we've on Earth amazing topics here, which I think maybe would need more insights or more discussions around that. Upgrading and culture, shaping views and on love and money, the financial dependency. Is it connected to emotional control? Because we see this all out there, and the funny thing is, this is all posted in newspapers, on TV, social media, and we have women aspiring to want to be in that position, but not understanding how emotional
Mm,
it can be. So,
yeah.
the society now is, it seems like we value love, or do we value love, or more or less in this materialistic society? Because a lot of things just materialistic, isn't it? You see everything. It's just like, oh, he bought me a Gucci bag, got me an LV bag, you know, and we have this consumer mindset. It's just crazy. That's another topic on its own. But
mm,
looking at everything we talked about today,
mm.
in closing, do you think we value as a society love more or less in this in our society?
I think on a surface level, like when we go back to social media, like you said, believe everything you see at on social media at your own risk. I know, I hardly post anything about me being sad on social media. Most of my posts that you're going to see me, I'm either smiling, I'm laughing, I'm looking good, I'm happy, right?
Mm,
So again, but is that the reality or realism of life in total? No, it's not. So do we value love more? In the real sense, if you look down, I would say people still value love. We still value love that, rather than the materialistic society that we're seeing, because a lot of us know that what we see is not the real life, right?
mm,
The Gucci bags and all of those stuff is not real life for the average human being,
yeah.
right? And then you talk about love and money. I mean, the love in the genuine sense of what it is priceless, cannot be purchased. Because if we
100%.
can buy the love, then a lot of us will not be single right now,
Hey,
right?
word.
Yeah,
Hey.
words. Can we click to that? Because if I can buy the love, then we're not going to be single right now,
I
right?
hear
People,
that. I
a
hear that.
lot, So I think ultimately, love, we do value love, or I personally value love more than the materialism. But we
Yeah.
cannot exclude the fact that money is important, and it does make love sweet, as Davido
Mm,
said.
okay. Okay. I mean, I hear you. As I said, Oyindamola is a rare species in this world that we see.
Right? I'm just a girl. I'm just a
I think,
noble girl.
I
We
think,
think,
I
I'm
think,
sure we all think like this, surely.
I mean, again, I will say you're a rare one out there in the society because what I see and what I hear is more of, valuing love less in the materialistic society. There's a lot of focus or attention paid to who can take me out, who can give me that life, who can give me that princess treatment. But what
Yeah,
they
but then
is this all this can fizzle out because when it fizzles out, what's left? Because you can
when it
get
fit
go on.
exactly, yeah, when as you said, when it fizzles out, what's left? When he loses that job or loses that contract, what's left? When he dies, for example, what's left?
Hmm.
Like those things, all those materialism is not given, it's not certain. Something can come and take that away in a flash. Another person can come and replace you. These things
Yeah,
happen,
yeah,
but love itself, in the genuine sense of what love is, like, you know, we can't, as I said, you can't box love, right? Because the Bible
very
says
well.
love covers a multitude of things. Like love is kind, love is patient. You cannot, if you have love, people say, I would rather have love, right, than not have it. Or number, also, some other people will say, okay, yes, we've had all those things, but I'd rather have love. I can make money again. You can be rich again. So
Hmm.
again, love is such a rare it's a rare, how can I put it? It's not a commodity, but it's such a rare thing that when you actually find it, you find the real love. If it does exist out there, when you find it, then yeah, you're not going to mess around with anything else, whether there's money or not. That love, you can't buy it. Basically, you cannot actually
Oh,
buy love. That's my conclusion.
amazing.
On the matter. But yeah,
Amazing, amazing,
yeah.
amazing. Oh, it's been amazing to have you on the show this amazing afternoon. It's been kept up and social
Okay.
with the amazing Oyindamola, the rare one, I should call it from now on. Be careful
Okay.
with some rare views on that. But on a closing note on today's show, I mean, if you need to catch up on the show, just go over to our YouTube channel and you can subscribe so you get notifications when we do have new content coming up. But just to
Mm.
give a more some finishing comments on this, as we always do. Love does love equal money or finances? Again, stealing Oyindamola's words, it depends on where you are in life, isn't it? It depends on your outlook in life. But I would add to that also, it depends on how you grew up, what your culture is, who your friends are, and what your mindset is about.
Mm.
Love is something that would always remain eternally. That is if it's true love. money, finances, anything could happen. It could change. It could fizzle out. It could reduce, or it could vanish. Money, as I say, is like a spirit, but the true
Mm,
love holds you together. As Oyindamola rightly pointed out as well, love is kind and love is patient. But I also add, love is love. But as
mm,
always we say, we don't give advice on here. We just share our own opinions and our own thoughts. You can take it on as you know, please and think about it. Do that due diligence on yourself. Are you in a position where you're being emotionally controlled because you're financially dependent? Are you truly in love in that relationship you are in? Or is it a transaction? Is it a transactional type of love? Are you truly looking for that genuine love? Or you're looking for love that equals money? It's been your host, Dobinar, with amazing Oyindamola, the real one who is graced us with a presence here on Dobinar Radio. It's been amazing to have you on the show. Hopefully, we
well,
can
thank
have you back as well. I think we had an amazing time with you here on Dobinar Radio. I'm sure Lady B is listening as well. Lady B, we still love you. We can't have you. We can't wait to have
you.
you back as well.
Yes.
But in the
Can't
meantime,
wait.
is yes, Oyindamola, any what words you want to say to our amazing guests before we come put an end to the show this amazing evening? Till the next time.
Well, no, it's just I just want to say thank you for, having me on the show, Double Nine. Very interesting conversation, and I think I learned a few things from you. I know it was basically us conversing, but I think that yeah, I picked up a few gems as well. So yeah, thank you for your time. And as you said, love is love.
Amazing.
Love is love. So
Love is love.
nothing else. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up to our amazing, wonderful host this evening, Oyindamola, coming through with some amazing vibes here on WR Radio. By the meantime, stay locked on, stay locked in. As you know, always get some amazing vibes for you. As I mentioned earlier as well, if you did join us late or you're just joining us, you can catch up on the show on our YouTube channel. Just search for Double Nine Radio. That's double with a nine radio, all one word on YouTube, and you can catch up on the show as well. But in the meantime, make sure you do follow us on Instagram as well to catch up and know when new shows are coming up. Hopefully, we'll be seeing Oyindamola back here on the show on 35 and Social. It's been amazing. It's been wonderful. Have a lovely weekend, and I'm sure you'll be hearing from us soon. It's your host, Double Nine, here on Double Nine Radio.
This is Double Nine Radio, the best online radio station playing the best Afrobeat.